I'm using new neuroplasticity. Hey, welcome to the Connect Cape Fear podcast, a place where locals, travelers, and newcomers from all over come to find community in this great place that we call home. I think we're doing red light therapy right now.
Yep.
I believe is what we're doing right now. It's warm, feels good. I feel toxins being pulled out all the way down to the mitochondria of my cell right now. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Connect Cape Fear podcast. I am your host, Rob Rens. I'm joined by Candace Vivian, the owner of Osteostrong. Beautiful place that we're sitting in right now.
Thanks, Rob.
It's our first time doing one of these on location. So a little bit of a different flow that we're going to do today. We're going to talk about you, talk about your business, how you got to Wilmington, but then also stay tuned because there's some really cool equipment back here, some really nice modalities and whatnot, all designed. Well, I won't tell it for you. I'll let you sell it. What is all this stuff designed for, Candace?
Well, what we do here, Rob, is work with people to work on their skeletal strength. So we have a series of 4 machines that we take people through on our circuit, weekly circuit, through our membership program. And after their circuit is complete, we have a couple extra goodies, like you mentioned, our extra modalities. Those modalities are right now, and they're always growing, so it's really exciting. But we have red light therapy, which we literally just installed 2 days ago. We waited on that for quite a while. We have compression boots, PEMF, pulsed electronic magnetic frequency mats, which you have to try if you haven't already. A vibration plate, something called a biocharger, which is the first one in Wilmington that we're also very excited about. It's sort of a frequency medicine or frequency device, so that's really exciting.
I saw that when I walked in there, and it looks like a cool little piece of equipment. Can you explain a little bit more about the biocharger?
It's kind of abstract.
Okay.
It emulates the frequencies of nature using a Tesla coil, something called a Rife frequency. And there are gases that light up in these tubes. You know, we can take a cut and have a picture of it. And you guys are welcome to even have a seat here and try it out. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, my wife, like we were talking about off camera, is into all that stuff. So I have like an inch depth knowledge of some of these things.
Right.
But the more and more we understand about the human body, the further we progress, the greater results we're getting for people, you know, mind, body, spirit, and all that stuff. But, you know, like somebody like me, I grew up in the, you know, in the glamour muscle era, right? Like we were the Jersey Shore kids watching that on MTV, like gym tan laundry. We got to work on biceps and chest and everything. I don't hear or haven't heard a lot of people talking about the importance of skeletal strength.
Right.
Why is that so important?
Well,
outside of the obvious.
Sure. It's the foundation of your body, right? So without your skeleton strong, your muscles, you know, have nothing to adhere to. That, you know, we want that for longevity. Is really what the name of our game is. It's biohacking and longevity, and aging well and gracefully and strongly.
So should people be here before? Like, what's the youngest? What's the youngest client?
Sure. Well, my partner Justin, his daughter comes. She's 16.
Okay.
You know, so we have her here. But as our members, they say that you start to lose your bone density at the age of 30.
What?
Yeah.
I'm 39.
Yeah. Well, you're on the so get on in. Yeah. So at the age of 30, your bone density starts to decline, and you know, from there it's just, you know, diet and your bone strengthening. And that's what we do here is by our equipment, we apply pressure to the bones.
Okay.
And it's a little bit different than a traditional gym. So with our equipment, you're applying multiples of your own body weight. Through our programming, through our computer program, we're able to put in your specifications, and the computer will work with you. This is the motion of one of the machines.
This is a computer right here.
You're able to work with your own body weight to apply that pressure for the process of bone strengthening. These machines are able to determine what would be your maximum amount of push and your peak. And what we're really looking for is your rapid growth trigger and your growth trigger, which are multiples of your own body weight.
Okay.
So flaring your elbows out slightly, take a nice big breath in, and on your exhale, begin to slowly press away. This equipment is much different and much more sensitive than if you were at weights with a gym, you know, where some of our friends own businesses. You know, you're really using the heft of the weight to really put that weight onto your body. This, we're applying pressure to our bones.
Love it.
So it's
yeah. So what are some of the like telltale signs of people, you know, I'm 39, I feel like I'm in generally good shape. I might not know what's going on underneath my skin,
Sure.
but you can probably see people that are losing bone density, bone strength, skeletal strength. What are some of those telltale signs for people that are watching?
Sure. We also focus on balance and posture, which are two things that are really huge for us to help people work on. But really, truly, the only way to sort of deem whether your bones are losing their integrity would be through a scan. And that could be a DEXA scan or this new technology, the Rens echo light, which we're going to be bringing that here. So that's a little
Heard
bit
it here
of
first.
a little teaser.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So truly, it would really just be with your medical provider, or you know, that way.
Yeah, yeah. So the balance is interesting to me too, because you know I have aging parents. We were talking about that, and I unfortunate that we're having this conversation now, but where we office in downtown, I saw this lady, she fell on the street, looked like maybe she tripped over, you know, like a raised piece of concrete or something. But that's what I worry about with my mom and dad, is like them losing balance and falling, and then, you know, they break a hip, and that kind of tends to be like, you know, sometimes
decline.
it's fatal for them. You can't recover from that. So is that something that you all focus on, is helping them stay stable enough?
Well, I can tell you that we've had members here that have fallen, and the beauty is that they can get up, that they are able to, you know, still use XYZ or part of their body.
Yeah.
You know, we had one of our dear members who was here today. She's 81 years old, and she sort of confided, I fell the other day, and it wasn't that bad.
Wow.
I was able to get back up.
Wow.
Yeah, and she said it was one of her biggest fears. I said, did you tell your daughter? She said, why would I tell her? I got back up.
Yeah, there's your television ad right there. I see it. You know, the opposite of the life alert, the help I've fallen, I can't get back up.
Absolutely.
That's brilliant.
And we had another guy come in, and he came in one day for his session, and he held up his hands to us, and he said, I can't do my session today because I fell. You know, he had skinned hands, and he said, but the reason I was able to get up, I can still move. I didn't break anything. And he attributed it to working with us.
Wow. I know you can't make promises or statements like what I'm about to ask you, but like with people working with you, I'm sure you guys can see some longevity studies, right? Like what does that equal in terms of maybe not even just like living longer, but living better? Like how many more years can you reclaim that you might not have if you don't do anything?
Yeah, I can't answer that, you know, but it's
10 years guaranteed.
Right. We you know, like to be able to maintain our independence. A big one is getting up and down off the toilet unassisted. Yeah. You know, and we work with people with their squats and with their grip strength, and you know, holding on and being able to maintain the integrity of their life. Can I put Rob on the vibration?
Absolutely.
Please?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so step on up over here.
Okay, this one here. Should I take my shoes off?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
What we want to work on also is neuroplasticity.
Yep.
Breaking up your old habits, right? Yep. Letting your mind and your body sort of work in tandem to create new ways of thinking or sort of exercising or engaging with your body.
Yeah, we totally should have done the podcast on this job.
Hold on here.
I think that's cool. That's really cool. You should come and try it. Apparently what I'm about to do is going to stress me out a little bit. It's going to make me struggle a little bit. Candace has given me no indication of what this machine does, so I'm going into it blind. She's just punching in some numbers real quick, and I have no idea what to expect with this, but I'm here for it. Okay?
The movement here is pressing your shoulder blades back toward one another, standing here for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly release. How did that feel?
I think I got the high score, honestly.
Well, I don't know if you got 4.2.
Oh, that's the...
And what we want to do is hold you there.
Okay.
We want you to hold, and we do this at least twice, sometimes 3 times through a session, but at least twice, where you're holding this and you're able to maintain that peak performance or that growth trigger that the machine has indicated to you.
Got it.
You're really working with your bone strength.
So these little 5-10 second intervals on these machines is really all it takes for me to...
Right.
strengthen my skeletal system.
Exactly, once a week.
Stressed out a little bit, but not bad. It felt like picking up 2 heavy suitcases and just holding it for a little while.
And that's it, functional movements.
Yeah.
Everyday movements that if you're a 70-year-old lady and you need to go to the airport or pick up your groceries, you're able to still maintain that.
Yeah, it's those little movements that you forget that can be the ones that, if you twist, you do it wrong, and that's what keeps your daily living going, right?
Again, aging well with that longevity.
That's interesting. I don't mean to keep bringing it back to my dad, but he's got like neuropathy in his hands and feet. He can't really feel much of anything. And so like things that he loves to do, like garden and do woodworking, he's afraid to do it because he's worried that like he'll chop his finger off or something like that. Is that something that's reversible, or is that like a...
Again, that would be with the doctor.
Yeah.
But we have had people that come here with neuropathy, and they still operate our machines, our equipment. Our vibration plate was a big hit with people with neuropathy because they're able to start to feel, maybe not into that appendage or that part of their foot or their hand, but throughout their body.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears a little bit. How long have you been in Wilmington?
About 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
Justin, my partner, and I were living in Sedona, Arizona.
Okay.
It was where I first saw Osteostrong. I was working for an herbal tincture company that sold medicinal quality tinctures, herbal tinctures to naturopathic doctors and things like that. So I've always been interested in, alternative medicine or whatever. So I went to my very first Osteostrong there and met the owner and walked in, and there were people of all ages, 50 and up, just like really active and full of life. And she was a super positive lady. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is this place, And at the same time, my dad was rapidly declining from cancer and Alzheimer's, eventually passing at the age of 68 4 years ago. So it was really inspirational to me to see these older folks working on their life, working on their longevity. So we came here, and I started to study yoga and teach senior yoga, and really just enjoy the population of people that we work with here. And, that seems to be pretty prevalent in Wilmington.
Yes.
So, thought it would be a really good fit for the community.
Yeah. Why'd you choose Wilmington? Was there a reason in particular?
The beach, of course, is a big, big favorite. And the proximity to other places. It's so easy to get in and out of Wilmington, you know. And as a child, I grew up going to the Outer Banks, and my grandmother, actually, paternal, was from Western North Carolina.
Okay.
So I've had a connection with the state for many, many years.
Yeah. And then from a business standpoint too, we have, we call them halfbacks, right? They go to Florida, they don't like it, they come halfway back up. We have a lot of people retiring in this area. So smart business decision too to put something like this here as well.
Yeah.
Are you growing? Like, are you guys are you feeling like...
Yep, we are steadily growing. We've been open since January of 2024.
Okay.
And there's one lady particular that she was knocking on our door literally before we even opened, and she said, I'm going to sing your praises. And she's been just a wonderful advocate of us, and we've just been building ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So other than senior citizens, who I'm sure probably make up a lot of your client base, are there other groups that you work with?
Absolutely. Premenopausal women, perimenopausal women. Again, women start to lose their bone strength a lot quicker and a lot more intensely than men do. And so there you have it, at the age of late 40s, early 50s, here we are in our decline.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a huge population for us. Athletes.
Yep.
In recovery is another one that we, hope to have more of, but some of the other locations specifically have worked with boxers or football players and things like this. Yeah.
Is it just the stress that they put on their body that...
or the recovery.
Okay.
So being able to safely put that pressure back onto their body, onto their bones, to help the bone building process or bone strengthening process is really what the key is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. One of the things we like to talk about here on the Connect Cape Fear podcast too is, ways to give back. Are there communities, is there nonprofits that you get involved in? Some of your personal favorites around here you can speak to?
Absolutely. Osteostrong of Wilmington, or Osteostrong Wrightsville as we're called, we just donated to Nourish NC.
Nice, yeah.
And also we'll be working with the Cape Fear Hospice.
Okay.
Yeah. Lower Cape Fear Hospice.
Yep.
I also here, and like I mentioned, I study yoga and I teach. I'm also a registered yoga teacher, but also Christina Phipps Foundation is a cancer conscious yoga program.
Okay.
And so I lead free yoga classes here 2 times a month on Sundays.
For people that are undergoing cancer treatment?
Yeah, or have been, or
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Does that, so I intellectually can understand it, but probably can't explain it. Like, what's that connection there between cancer treatment therapy and yoga? Is it just...
Well, also another population that we work a lot with is breast cancer patients or survivors, working on their bone health, because
Okay.
they're through the treatments, the bone can sort of degrade.
Yeah.
And I lost my dad to cancer, so I have a connection in that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I like to give to that population of people whenever I can.
That's great. Yeah, and you mentioned Nourish NC too. We've had other guests on this podcast that are really involved with that, or the Food Bank, United Way. Like, food insecurity and food scarcity is a big problem in Wilmington. And you know, oftentimes we're located, we're right by Floor and Decor on College, right across from the university. You kind of see all this, I guess, opulence, for lack of a better term, and there's people in our community that are worried about where the next meal is going to come from sometimes.
And you can expect to see donation boxes here throughout the holidays and things like that, and we plan on working with more of the local community as we get more established.
No, I mean, you just opened in January. We'll give you some time to get your feet underneath you.
Thank you. But it is very important to me as a person, for sure.
Great.
Yeah.
So great location, like I said, across from the old Kmart, right on South College, the direction that we're going, near the university, next to Appalanti's Bake Shop, Floor and Decor. You got a great location. As I understand it from your website, you guys are membership based, right? Can you talk a little bit about like, if somebody's watching this, they're like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I want to build up my bone strength.
Sure.
How does your pricing model, your membership model work?
We have 3 different tiers of pricing that we would be happy to talk to people whenever they come in about, just because every franchise sort of dictates its own pricing. It's not a secret, it's just that it's different everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And there is no contract with our membership. You're able to put your membership on hold or cancel, and there's no, you won't get in trouble with us, So we have people also come from different locations. Some people have visited from Florida, some halfback vacationers call me up and say, hey, Candace, I'm going to be in town for a day. Can I come over and basically use your machines? Absolutely. We are reciprocal to other Osteostrong locations.
Okay.
As are a few of the other ones in the state of North Carolina.
So does it work like a gym then? I just come and go as I please, or do I book time?
It's
and
a membership-based, appointment-based. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's appointment-based. That's the reason this place is so special, is that every time a member comes, they're always working with a session coach. No one is sort of turned loose out there and expected to know how to use the equipment or safely be involved with it. So the session coach is always there to make sure that you're in proper alignment, your breathing is right, and that you're really engaging with the equipment so you can get the maximum benefit.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
You don't send people in here and just
Right, exactly.
unmonitored.
And, we kind of think of it sort of like a studio, right?
Yeah.
So we're having that personal one-on-one time. I can tell you a lot about a lot of people now.
I bet. Yeah, you get to know them.
I know a lot of grandkids through pictures now, but which is wonderful, So there is that personal interaction, and I am looking to create a sense of community for our members and for anybody else. We're planning on doing some talks and hosting some doctors and things like that. So,
That's great. Well, I love the mission. Like, biohacking is something that's it's trendy, it's cool, but then it's something that I think about regularly, like as you start to age a little bit, you start to realize that like your choices today really make a difference in 15, 20, 30 years. And then when you start to hit an area where you start to see your family age or your parents age, and I really start to think about, what do I want my 60s to look like? What do I want my 70s and 80s to look like? And then you see people that are just like, so I think of Mark Sisson. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's the guy he created the keto diet, so to speak. He's like 75 and he's jacked and he's out there living life.
For sure.
And I'm like, that's what I want my golden years to look like. I want to be able to enjoy and be of sound mind, body, spirit, all that
100%.
stuff. And it sounds like this is the kind of place where you're not too early to start working on it right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love it. Well, I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you very much.
Where can people find you, Candace, other than the location?
We're on Facebook. We have a website. We're on Instagram. You can call me anytime, yeah.
Okay.
We're around.
Website? What's the website?
It's osteostrong.me.
Okay.
Yep.
Osteostrong.me, and it'll take you right here to the Wilmington one.
You'll have to go through the location.
Find your location.
Yeah, we're hoping to get our own sort of, in stone here soon.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
we're looking,
Osteostrong.me, Osteostrong. Thank you for joining the Connect Cape
Thank
Fear
you very much.
podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way we know a new episode has dropped. And please support Candace, support Justin. If you're somebody like me who cares about your long-term health and longevity, we're going to go through some of these machines here, get a better understanding of the modalities. Could be a thing for you, so check them out at osteostrong.me. And we will talk to you on the next episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast. Thanks for joining us.